Sheriff Bianco says that him and his team most likely prevented a third assassination. That's the quote.
Yeah. By the way, the Secret Service and the FBI had opportunities to interview me, even though this deputy sheriff that you refer of said, oh, they're going to interrogate you and all that. 3.5 hours in, they had an opportunity into the ordeal. They had an opportunity to interrogate me. 6.5 hours in, they had an opportunity to interrogate me. Both times they declined. Both times, and they came out with a statement that they don't think I was there for any ill will. They said that the president was in no danger, which is what you do when you actually do things like investigate and gather evidence. And this is why the sheriff department being sued right now. The lawsuit is already filed. The lawyer is actually a very prominent lawyer. 2 lawyers I have working on this, but one of them is known as one of the Republican Party National Committee chairwomen, also has done very high-profile cases. And, you know, what's going to happen at the end of this is that, you know, these guys' career is over. They're both, this deputy and sheriff, are done. It's just a matter of time. I do believe criminal charges are necessary because what we're finding out as we investigate this actual sheriff is that there's a ton. I mean, it's like Tony Soprano running the sheriff's department. That's the best way to put it. This guy's a criminal, 100%. $7.5 million judgment because of his bad deeds very recently. Multiple inmates dying of malnutrition while in his custody. Investigated in 2023 as running a completely belligerent department. Evidence that's coming forth of bribery of individuals in order to shut people up because they're exposing corruption. We recently found out that he's quite anti-Second Amendment because every time one of his employee or one of the cops has a workers' comp issue, he takes their guns away. He takes their gun rights away. And that was through a whistleblower that came late last night, who is actually a police officer right now. And he says 50% of the officers despise him. And there's other things that are happening, like financial records are not coming through where he's making an outrageous amount of money. I think one of his financial records showed $600,000 in 1 year. 300,000 of it came from his salary. The other 3,000 of it came from something called others. So we're going to find out what that other is. So long and short is, you know, this sheriff is toast. My story is turning out to be the credible story. And unfortunately, it has to play out that way because you're dealing with a level of incompetence and ill will that is not supposed to be what happens with sheriffs.
What were you doing at the rally, Ben? Were you there to cover it?
No, I was invited by a special invitation, and because I ran for office in 2022 in Nevada as a Republican candidate, and also because I'm actively involved in the Trump caucus team, Trump team captain, and also I think Trump team leader or whatever, one of those terms. I'm also helping to gather votes for President Trump, which I did in the primary. So I got a special invite for that.
Yeah, which would be a shocking turn of events. That's a hell of a long play by you to try to get the guy elected, and then, you know, go ahead and in 3 weeks before it, use a shotgun from a mile and a half away to get rid of all that hard work.
Like, bro, this is the thing. This is so logical. You know, this guy got on stage, the sheriff, and said, common sense and logic. Like, come on, bro. Common sense and logic. Like, you don't even have one piece of evidence to corroborate these insane allegations. You don't have, like, you know, people were like, I have maybe 25 different calls from mainstream media press. They're like, and I'm talking about people that were trying to gotcha you when they first heard about this, but then they went on my Instagram and they're like, there's no way this guy is what you guys are saying he is. He's like got pictures with all these like Republicans and, you know, whatever. And these are not sheriffs. These are not officers of the law. These are reporters. And these reporters are coming because they'd rather get the sensational piece from you. But by the time they arrive and look at the evidence, they're like, dude, like, we're going to look like jerk-offs if we come after you really hard, you know, because it's clear you've done nothing. But yet the sheriff, and I'll tell you why, there's a lot of potential self-interest in there. There's governor aspirations of the sheriff that he thought he was going to, you know, be like this big media celebrity. And the thing that I really detest there, having come from Hollywood and produced content content is, you know this, there's people in Hollywood that are willing to sell their souls for fame and fortune, right? And to me, that's always been a detestable thing because I've seen horrible things come out of that, right? And we're seeing the manifestation of that through stories like what happened with P. Diddy and other, what I call celebrity whores. That's what they are. They're prostitutes seeking attention because they lack whatever they lack inside their soul, and they're willing to sell their soul, right? And it's very sad that this is the character of Sheriff Bianco. That's his character. That he took what was this kind of sensational 15 minutes of fame situation, flat out lied so he could get his spotlight on for his future political aspirations, and it turned out to be all a complete lie.